Hello, this is Spidey1958, and welcome to my Let's Play, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, Beta, Episode, good question, 33, I believe. I went back to camp. I basically did some inventory cleanup, gave people potions, learned spells. A lot of the boring stuff that I decided to start doing off camera. I walk out my tent to sell stuff, and this starts, so we'll go from here. A message for the commander. I'm the Queen's bodyguard. She sent me to tell you she's arrived at camp incognito as planned. You can find her where the minor nightly orders are camped. Come if you wish to speak with her. Tell Her Highness I will come at once. Certainly. Where do the minor nightly orders go? Let's see. Here is Cannabis Soldiers. Lyle Harkblade. That's our selling person. That's... she's over here maybe? I think she's over here. That's the way the guy walked. Queen's bodyguard. Queen, there she is. Queen Gallifrey nods to you cordially. Her armor is plain and unadorned. As promised, I have entered the ranks incognito along with a few bodyguards. I have introduced myself as Kit Rain, an old friend of yours. I am a knight of a minor order, the Green Crows. We shall see how long it takes Aniva to sniff me out, the Queen chuckles. You've given an army and the title of Knight Commander to a stranger. Why? Because for 100 years I have protected my lands, trying to drive the demon horde back into the abyss. I have tried every right and rational method. The Queen affords herself a brief grim smirk. My armies have been led by the greatest generals, even Iomede's angels. My goddess Herald created the wardstones for us. We have tasted victory more than once, but we have failed to close the world wound. As for you, I do not call yourself a stranger. You are a savior of Cannabis. Hundreds of its people saw the power that descended up you and turned the demons to dust. It's the sign they've waited for decades, a sign for all the loyal hearts and followers of Iomede. The time has come. Hope has been rekindled in the hearts of my subjects. Thank you. Hope is a priceless resource, and I have no choice but to give it wings. You called it a sign that they've been waiting for, but I take it you are reserving judgment? Your question seems to catch the Queen off balance. A strange spark flashes in her eyes. When Eredin perished and Iomede took over his legacy, I was among the first to serve the new goddess. I helped restore her church from the ashes left by the chaos after Eredin's death. Since then I have served the inheritor loyally and truthfully. I like to believe I have earned the blessings of my goddess. The Queen's voice is surprisingly ardent. After I learned of what happened to Cannabis, when I met you at Defender's Heart, I had so many questions. Is it true that what happened was Iomede's work? Why did she give this power to some unknown rather than one of her more loyal followers? Could it be that my faith has grown weak and I don't recognize the deeds of my goddess even when they're happening right in front of me? Is the goddess somehow testing me? Those doubts are like poison. But I refuse to let them poison me, the Queen finishes strongly. I gave you an army, declared you Knight Commander, and accepted you as I would any chosen by the goddess. Why did you entrust me with Daeron? The Queen smiles. I saw such a wonderful opportunity to teach the Count a lesson and just couldn't resist. Honestly, I expected you to dismiss him forthwith. The Count would have been forced to return to court a laughingstock. It would have been a truly sobering experience. There is nothing more disgraceful for a Meldavian nobleman than to be discharged like that. Darien Arundel, the Queen shakes his head. He was such a lovely child. His mother, Lady Silverin, was one of the most gracious people I had ever met. She was amiable yet decorous, and truly kind. Bonds of kinship among the nobility are on the whole, highly practical and only useful for forming alliances. But Countess Eridan managed to become a true member of my family. I suppose that is why I spent so much time believing your son to be a better person than he actually was. His company is a heavy burden. Still, I must admit, I am quite pleased that you decided to keep him as a companion. There is a small chance that once he has a true taste of the crusade life, the Count will finally cease to mock the Crusaders as cynically as he has wont to do. Why did you decide to join the crusade after all? Because I have a curious mind, and I am quite unable to sit and do nothing for long. The Queen smiles, but then grows serious. You ask a difficult question. I must remain as safe as possible. My death or abduction would sow chaos among our forces. However, I am not only a queen, I am also a paladin of Iomede. It is not in my nature to sit in a palace with my sword sheathed. In a manner of speaking, your request was simply a convenient excuse for me to be where I belong, crusaded against the demon hordes. Besides, I'm curious to see my new knight commander in action, the savior of Cannabis and the heir of my fallen ally. I have a question for you as well. Why did you wish me to join you on the crusade? I am glad to have the glorious Crusader Queen at my side. Well, that's fair enough motivation. The camaraderie of combat, fighting shoulder to shoulder, for a warrior, such things are priceless. I must go. Don't forget, here I am, Kitrain the Knight. Okay, we need to talk to a couple people that we skipped. Well, one's new one, and one is someone we need to talk to. So let's see, where are you? Oh, you'd be over here with Ralph. Let's go talk to Ralph. I so should have named him Snaggletooth. I really should have. Sheena looks sad and pensive. It's good to see you. Get this, Jana, the one who ran away when we were attacked by demons, never came back to her unit. She was seen running toward Numeria. Looks like she's deserted. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Or not the only thing. Since our raid on the Houndheart's camp, I've been feeling I made a mistake. Dragging you into this, I mean. I should have known that a raid along the edge of the world wound wouldn't be so easy. But mostly I was wrong about a lot of people. About Jana, who lost her nerve and abandoned her friends. About Curl, I knew he was a thief, but I really thought he'd turned over a new leaf and deserved a little compassion and trust. Elin, I thought we were kindred spirits, friends through thick and thin, but it looks like I was wrong about him too. Zila looks at you closely, waiting for your answer. Don't lose your trust in people, Sheila. So what if you made a few mistakes? It's no reason to give up your ideals. Someone has to show people that there's a better path. Shalene's expression brightens. Thank you, my friend. I needed that support. Thanks for listening to my grumbling and for helping me get to the bottom of this. I'm not going to leave things as they stand, and if I get a chance, I'll track down Jana and see if I can talk some sense into and find out why Curl did what he did. I can't stop thinking about what Elin told me in the end. I really have become more powerful than paladins who are far more experienced and selfless than me. That's something not right about it. A servant of Mayomede should gain their powers through dedicated personal effort. It's the only way to make sure they use their power for good. Our journey so far, it's all wrong, and it means I need to be 3 times as hard as myself now. I would disagree with that, but I need to talk to our new member of the party, who I don't know anything about. Where is our little cleric friend? He should be here, shouldn't he? I thought he liked to paint. Well, let's go and sell, and then we'll try finding him. Commander? Isn't the sell person here? I should loot all that stuff too. And we should be standing right next to him. Oh, we're in the wrong... Whoops. That is not what I meant to do. We needed to do it at some point anyway, so I'm not upset. But I accidentally hit R. And there's our person. Show me what you have. Okay, so you have bourbon, camping supplies, all the various things we sold. Okay, let's check here. Nope. Nothing there. Rings of protection +2 and lesser boxes of dueling. We have 20,000, so we can get 2 of these. He only has 1. I don't think there's anything else here. We don't have anyone using Shield Bash. We don't have enough money left for that. I think we're okay for the moment. Okay, so she has a +1 ring, so let's give her the +2. You have a ring. You have a +1 ring. Okay, so who else? You're not going to be in our party there. You can use a +1 ring. Giving you to 26 armor class. So we're doing okay on our armor classes. And let's... We still need to find our friend the cleric. Isn't he not on the map? Ember, Wolfen, Camilla, Lan, Darren, Lithar, Canvas Soldiers. Well, let's go loot these various piles and see if we can find him. Because I thought he was here by this... Whoops. And I once again hit the wrong key. Ah. That is really getting annoying. Okay, where am I? I'm there. Okay, let's go here. Collect that. I really thought around here Problem is the R is next to the E. When I try turning the map, if I'm not careful, that's what happens. This is Arabeth, a recruit. There's a box. Oop. There's Healor, whoever that is. Well, this doesn't look good. That doesn't look very good. That looks like a hate letter. Right near there, these guys. I think somewhere among them is not a good person. Recruit, recruit, yogi, recruit, recruit, Darwin. I think this is the medical tent. Yato. Rice. Fairy mushrooms, scroll remove curse. So these guys have anything to say? A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. You caused quite the stir. Everyone thought cannabis was done for, but the gods had other plans. That was quite a blaze over the Grey Garrison, all the vermin running out with their tails between their legs. Oh, he sells scrolls, among other things. Well, this might be somebody we want. Red salamander. Bookworm's headband. Headband of alluring charisma. Headband of vast intelligence. What's this one do? Cloak resistance +3. Swarms. Coins of protection. Potions, potions, scroll of atonement. Lots of scrolls. They look to be cleric scrolls, which is fine. Ooh. So raised dead is 6,000 gold. Good to know. Alchemist kit. Well, we need one of these once we get somebody to know how to do that. This looks like ingredients. Whoop. I think we want the recipe. Let's take one of those. May need some of the other. Okay. So that's where we can buy scrolls and stuff, so we now know, as well as our kits for magic. Okay, we've talked to him before. He was in the inn. That's why he looked familiar. Oh, we also have to talk to this guy. I keep forgetting. There you are, my dearest commander. I'd love to visit Heaven's Edge and see the Eridan estate someday. Oh, I was just about to mention it myself. I've been thinking, now that I'm in the middle of this whole crusade nonsense, I simply must devise new ways to have fun. With all the recent commotion, my birthday completely slipped my mind. What if we were to celebrate it at Heaven's Edge? It's not far from here, and you'd get to enjoy a banquet in a bona fide haunted house. Darren seems to have trouble getting the words out, which clearly indicates how rarely he has to ask for anything. Since you're my superior and I'm your advisor, I'm obliged to ask your permission to leave for the festivities. And I want to invite you too. I'm sure the commander can free up an afternoon where the soldiers are on leave. All right, deal. Perfect. You'll have a ball, I'm sure of it. Something strange flickers in David's smile. I'm not going to go into detail with the companions right now. Right here is where we should be seeing, because last time he was painting. Maybe he's in this tent? Phosphorus mushrooms. Fairy mushrooms and some edible moss. Oh, that's the Sanctify. And we already have glowing croissants. Speaking of which, we should memorize that recipe. Oh, there's something here. That's our friend here. Commander, do you wish to talk to me? I talked to Darren about the estate. He's going to celebrate his birthday at Heaven's Edge, so we can go as their guests. Go there as guests. A celebration that is far from ideal. It will be rather inconvenient for me to conduct the investigation with all the guests around. Thank you nonetheless, Commander. When you decide to go to the estate, I will join you. So we have that quest set up. I'm still trying to find where the heck. This must be Arabeth's tent. Massive bed is clean and neatly made. Only commanding officers are allowed such luxuries during this madness. Yeah, I know, we're robbing from her. Adventures of a Fearless Crusader. Briggy the Sausage Maker. Half plate of vigor. Hopefully Arabeth doesn't get mad at us for stealing everything out of her tent. I don't even know whose tent this is, but we'll ransack it anyway. Alchemist fire. Without a shadow of doubt, expecting nothing in return, the life and feats of Lord Alexer Tresbad. More scrolls. There's something over here. Corn liquor. Oh, yeah. You've earned the title of Commander. Cannabis still stands thanks to you, but you have to be doubly on your guard. Your Eminence places a target on your back. There are assassins about. Killing a high-ranking crusader would bring a demon far more prestige than killing a common soldier. Not long ago, I stymied a few of the Spinner of Nightmares attempts on the lives of influential crusaders, so I know what I'm talking about. This is the Pathfinder guy, but let's talk about these assassins. Tell me more about your confrontation with the Spinners of Nightmare. It's a long story. Telling you everything would take 2 days. What part do you want to know? Tell me again, how did it all begin? It all began with a task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Nirosane with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falron. We soon focused in on a small hospital for the wealthy where Falron was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out the gang of Bahamut's cultists, calling themselves the Labyrinth of Mind, had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted frail people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with the perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. And when they returned, they were different. Almost normal, but the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their minds, and they transformed into servants of Bahamut, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles in Mendev, but Baron Falron stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. He opened and cleaned the city of Bahamut's pit of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter, Lori, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From the note I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Laurie back at any cost. Grits his teeth with bulldog determination. What influential crusaders did you save from the Spinner of Nightmares? I've been hunting the Spinner of Nightmares for over a year. My agents, by the time I created a proper network, reported to me that she had returned to Narasan. I immediately suspected she was planning a great atrocity. By that time, I had learned all too well that the Spinner was master of illusions and charms. That's why I never left the house without this. Places a monocle from his pocket and puts it in his carefully. This is the Eye of Truth. It allows me to see through illusions. My friend got it from the priest of Nethris. However, neither this monocle nor my network of agents were adequate to prevent the attacks, and we were nearly too late. The Spinner of Nightmares decided to strike at the cruciform cathedral. They had gathered to celebrate the victory of the First Crusade. It was a great holiday, and there was lavish ceremony at the cathedral. An influential priest, Anthrocratus, was in charge of the festivities. They were intending to crown him with a tiara, a symbol of his high status, but the sacred tiara had been replaced. The Spinner had obtained an incutus, ascendant and rather omnious cephalopods from the other end of the world. She raised it from an elver and trained it carefully, and she cast an illusion on it so that everyone would see it as a tiara. The moment its shell was placed on Anthroca's head, the cephalopod would release its tentacles and penetrate the priest's skull. Its poison would seep into his brain, and it would seize control over Anthrion's dead body. Fortunately, we were able to stop this madness in time. I spotted the spinner of nightmares in the crowd, chased her down, and we ended up crossing swords on the roof of the cathedral. I nearly defeated her, but she fled upon a giant stallion, which was able to run across the air as if it was on the ground. I'm so close to catching her. She suffered a setback, but I let her escape. Hithro's bitter and angry smile shows he hasn't made peace with his failure. We'll talk about this later. Good luck. Watch your back. Only trust your closest friends. The enemy is cunning and treacherous. And I think at this point, we will call it an episode. So as always, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give me a like or a comment. And if you disliked the episode, leaving me a dislike's fine. But please leave a comment saying why you disliked the episode. As always, this is Spidey 1958, and have fun gaming.